Okay, looks like it says connecting. So let's give it a second. Fuck. It keeps saying connecting, then it disconnects.
Wow. I hope I don't lose my camera. Oh. All right.
Yeah, it's showing me on Facebook though. I don't know. Let's see what it does. If it works.
Okay.
Yeah, it's showing me on Facebook though. I don't know. Let's see. All right, you ready?
We are live. Yes.
If I close this, what's it gonna do? I don't know. Have Cam see if she can check it on Facebook
Can you check Facebook?
for
I mean,
my
YouTube, we're
profile.
good. Mm-hmm.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Can you hear the music?
I can hear the music.
All right, folks. Hopefully, we are live on a Saturday morning, kind of like 1980 Bugs Bunny cartoons. We are ready to entertain you and get you going because this is so much better than the stupid nature shows and I don't know how to buy a house in Malibu that none of us who are listening to this could ever possibly afford. So we have come to you this morning. This is John with Movie Killer Podcast. I got Mark, my co-host, with me as always, and we're going to kill the music because we're going to roll into this show on a beautiful, beautiful Saturday morning. So we are going to stick to our new regimen of we're going to revisit the movies that have come out. We're going to go through some budgets and revenue numbers just to kind of see how we're doing with our predictions. We are going to talk about who's the big celebrity today, Mark?
Chris Pratt. And I had mixed feelings about Chris Pratt because I don't think he's a movie killer, but we'll debate that on the show. Hey, your comment when you opened the show about no one wants to see like wildlife stuff. Dude,
Yeah.
growing up, that's all I watched, like nature shows. Like everything I know about animals came from watching that for like, I don't know, 12 years straight of my childhood. Like I know like obscure things and facts about animals in general. So I watched those things along with my, Saturday morning cartoons and kung fu theater and all that stuff.
You want to know what
Well-rounded,
I
man.
learned? You know what I learned?
What?
I learned that conjunction junction, what's your function? I learned how to make a bill by sitting on the hill.
Mhm.
I learned that Molly, 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 get your adverbs here. And that Bugs Bunny was extremely racist, incredibly sexist. And I can't believe they still show the Little Rascals on TV because Buckwheat was just, he set back human nature by, I don't know, 100 years. But I
Yeah.
watched it every Saturday morning. I was completely entertained by all of it as a kid. But I wish
Yeah.
they would bring Schoolhouse Rock back. That was my good Saturday morning.
All right.
All right, but I'm glad you learned that, Mutual of Omaha, Wild Kingdom, they could stick Jim out in a shark cage in the middle of the lions, and Merlin Olsen sat nice and safe back in his luxury chair. I did love Jim. I gotta tell you, Jim was the best.
Well, I talk about, like, watching all those different, just anything, right? Wildlife, kung fu theater, cartoons. It just speaks to my, like, versatility background. As we've shown last week, my versatility across my screen testing, all over the map.
Dude, you don't even know who Abbott and Costello are. We had that conversation the other day. You had no idea what we were talking.
I know who they
That
were.
is a
I
Saturday
did
morning
watch that.
staple.
Yes.
All right, and then after we go through Chris Pratt, which we have a philosophy on Chris Pratt of kind of where he started, where he's at now, and we talked about this before, the evolution of somebody who could be successful, potentially become a movie killer, and then maybe gain success again, or somebody who was a movie killer and then gained some success. And I think Chris Pratt's a good example of that arc. And I got some data to go through that today, and we're gonna, obviously always love getting everybody's opinion on their thoughts on the subject.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know how far you went back in his career. I just went last 10 films. Dude is pretty solid.
Yeah, I don't know. Why don't you take a look at Mercy and what's this other
See,
disaster that just
I
came
knew you were
out?
gonna cherry pick some of his, I guess, bombs, but, I actually, Mercy came out, so
Yeah, look up the Electric State. Dude, Netflix almost they had to close down. They raised my rates, I think $3 a month because of the Electric State. So we'll talk about that a little bit too.
Okay. Alright, so you wanna recap some of the current films out on release?
Yeah,
Michael?
and then we're gonna save to the end because I know
Yeah.
this is everybody's favorite part. Mark's failed movie casting. The roles
I
that
don't
got
I
recast.
But here's the thing, I don't think I wouldn't categorize that as failed. I just call it attempted.
Or let's say the studios decided to go in a different direction.
Art Just a
How about that?
different artistic direction.
Love it. Oh, and I forgot we're gonna go through our sleeper pick.
I do have a
So,
sleeper pick. I don't know if we could do this every single week, but I guess we could, because there's a ton of movies always being, um, you know, talked about, and even movies that haven't even started production, we could talk about that, but I do have one for this week.
yep, I'm with you. And I gotta say, last week and this week, and I think this is maybe like a younger generation thing, like maybe they're just more in touch with this stuff. I gotta thank my daughter for her recommendations on last week's and this week's, and I looked them up and I was like, man, she definitely has my genetics. She is spot on in her sleeper pick when it comes to movies.
Yeah,
So
I have my
I'm gonna give her
same
credit.
yeah, likewise. My EA is Cam. Like, she gave me last week and then this week. I was like, "Man, I totally did not hear that, like, whatsoever." And it's funny because for this week's pick, there's some names. I didn't know this was even gonna hit the screen, but here we are.
Yeah, she crushed it with Tony. I really like that. Really like that trailer.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start with went and saw Michael this weekend, and I would say from a biopic per, per projection perspective, absolutely massive hit, right? So production budget of 155,000, already worldwide gross over 800 million, over 5% ROI, record run, just absolutely crushing it. If you haven't seen it, go see it. But I think everything from a data perspective outside of Mark predicted this thing was going to go
I said it was
crazy.
gonna I said it was gonna maybe break even, like, do a little better than break even. I was completely wrong, and I had my rationale behind it, but I watched the movie this past weekend too. I absolutely loved it. I thought we talked about this, I know, earlier this week, but there was times when I was watching the movie and I'm like, "Man, this guy is so uncanny in terms of, like, he looked like the real thing, like his uncle," right? 'Cause, people already all know this, that Jafar Jackson plays Michael, his uncle. Um, I thought he was phenomenal. Like, his moves, like, people imitate and try to replicate the dance moves, but Jafar probably, by far, was the closest to the real thing, and that's in the blood, man. I there's no way there's no other way to explain that. He was that good, and for those that haven't seen it, which is probably you know, not a lot of people, it was a really, really good depiction of Michael's, early career and, going into right up until the Victory Tour, so it was well done. Do you know he only got paid $2,000,000 for that?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, great for the studio. I mean, this, but I mean, it's his first role, complete unknown. I have no idea how this kid's going to react under the pressure of playing, arguably the largest celebrity and icon of our lifetimes. And I try to explain to like my daughter's generation and all the kids and nieces and nephews, like
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, if you took Taylor Swift and amplified Taylor Swift 10 times, you got Michael Jackson. I mean, this guy was everywhere. And like, I don't know if anybody who wasn't around at his peak can even comprehend just how he dominated MTV, dominated music, dominated um, touring with his concerts and everywhere he went. You couldn't turn the TV on without seeing him interview commercial, MTV, constant play between Billie Jean and Beat It and Thriller. Like, this guy was everywhere. And for Jafar Jackson to step in and just play that role as
Crushed it.
well as he did, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, huge gamble, putting
Yeah.
him in. So I can see where the 2 million. And Coleman Domingo, who played Joe Jackson,
Mhm.
you just hate this guy. Like, he did such a good job of playing
He
that. And
did.
I don't want to turn this into the Michael show, but
Yeah.
man, like, you just hated him. Like, he did a phenomenal job.
Yeah. So the so this movie was actually I we'll try to keep this as short as we can, but I thought this was interesting that this movie was actually it started in concept back in 2019. So when Jafar actually landed the role, he didn't tell anyone in his family for like a good year. Can you imagine that, right? Like this movie's coming out, you land the role, you're part of the family, and he didn't even tell his parents until like a year before the release. So the factoid that I wanted to bring up is that did you know that Jafar Jackson, like his siblings are actually his first cousins? Did you know this?
Mm-mm, I didn't know that.
So, and I remember this when it happened, but I just like I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember now they have." So here's the backstory. His mother, Alejandra, dated Randy Jackson, which is Michael's brother, and
Yeah.
had 2 children, right? Um, then his mother, Alejandra, married Randy's older brother, Jermaine Jackson, who's Jafar's dad. So it's his sibling and first cousin. So essentially, she had children with Randy Jackson and Jermaine Jackson.
Hmm.
But they all treat each other as, hey, that's my brother, that's my sister. But
Right. Oh,
I don't
that's
know if a lot
interesting.
of people know. Yeah, yeah. They kept it
Yeah.
in the family. It's like Targaryens.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like royalty.
Yeah.
Our blood will be pure. That's great. The other thing that's interesting, if everybody didn't notice, is no Janet, right? And when you try to look up anything around Janet Jackson and why she was in the movie, all you get is she politely declined from participation in the movie. So they're keeping that pretty quiet. But anyway, go see the movie. It was great. The
It
other
was
thing
great.
is based on projections, Super Mario is ready to bust 1 billion. It's like last week it was at 985 million, so that'll bust 1 billion anytime.
Yeah.
Hail Mary's still doing well. Devil Wears Prada 2, barely breaking even. That thing, I don't even
No
know what it's
way.
doing. I don't even know what
No.
it's doing in the theater. We're gonna gloss over that one quick.
You were so off with that. You were like, "There's no one that wants to see it." I'm like, "Dude, that's like a cult
No, I
film."
figured it would do okay. To me, it was like your
Oh,
Michael, right? I was
man.
like, "It'll break even, it'll do
Yeah,
okay, it'll
okay.
make a little bit of
Alright,
money."
fair. That's fair. That's fair, but
But it's, I did think I projected like 500 million somewhere in
mm,
that neighborhood, and it's over 600 already. So it's doing pretty well.
yeah, I would say it's doing more than pretty well. It's crushing it. Okay, so that was the big ones that we were tracking over the
Yeah.
last
Other big one that I did predict, and
mhm.
I'm sad to say it, but I just knew it wasn't gonna do well. Mandalorian and Grogu not doing well in the box office at all. Like, I think the actual words that were used so far everywhere I've read is disappointment. So Mandalorian and Grogu, $165 million budget, and it's at about 268 right now. So just not carrying the steam that the series did. But
I think people are over it, right?
I think
Because,
people are over it too.
you
Yeah.
have an entire, TV series. I don't know I forget how many seasons it was, and then you release a movie. It just doesn't it usually never carries over. I can't think can you think of a series, like a TV series, and they did a feature film where it did really, really, really well? I can't even think of one.
No, and there's a lot, right? Like X-Files tried it
X-Files,
to,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
they tried to
that's
go in.
that's the one that comes to mind as well.
Yeah. But no, I don't think so. They just don't carry well. Maybe Downton Abbey. That was a pretty successful series and then went into a movie and did pretty well, but that might be an exception.
Yeah.
All right. So I think, check the website. We keep it updated. You can see how we're doing based on our predictions. If you want to go into the rest of the season, head out to Kalshi, place a couple bets, let us know how you do. But I think overall, I think our track record's doing pretty well.
Pretty solid.
I'm
Hey,
not going to go
just
through all the movies. There's a ton,
yeah.
but
There's the last thing I'll say about the whole Star Wars franchise, Disney and all that stuff. You know what people want to see right now? They want to see the old Republic. Like,
no.
yes, 100%. Those characters, John, you're married to you know, it's like the Old Testament versus the New Testament. You're like married to the New Testament for I don't know why, what reasons. Watch some of the Old Republic stuff that's being produced by non-Disney affiliates. The storylines, and they stay true to the storylines, unlike some of the, the other stuff that's out there. Old Republic, so much material there. They could make a bazillion dollars. That's all I'm saying.
So for all our listeners out there and anybody who listens to the podcast separately, couple quick updates, and then I'll bring this back into what Mark's talking about. So, one, Apple now allows video streaming. So all the stuff that we do with video, unfortunately, if you're listening to your car while you're driving or working in the yard, you can't see the video. So Apple has now added video to their content. So you can now watch us on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube for the video content, the trailers, and all the other stuff that we do. The other piece is, I think over the next couple weeks, and please give us feedback on this, we want to do a Star Wars, Old Republic, New Republic, a Star Wars based show. It's not really targeted at movie killers, but we can spin it that way and kind of make it into that. So we're going to bring in a couple guests. It'll be a larger cast for that particular show. We're going to bring guest subject matter experts, and these guys can nerd out on whatever they want to talk about with Star Wars. But I have a feeling that because of the content in the movies, we probably have a fairly nerdy group, and I say that term with love. But we're going to do that. So we're going to host a Star Wars based show. We can have the New Republic versus Old Republic, Empire Strikes Back, arguably to me, greatest Star Wars movie and best sequel ever created. But we're going to discuss all that. So look for that. You'll see it. We'll post it. We'll give it a little hype ahead of time. But over the next couple of weeks, we're going to have a Star Wars based show.
Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, with your Darth Malgus and all the other nonsense that you guys talk about.
Dude, we're gonna air a couple clips from the Old Republic that some of these, these independent studios are creating on their own, and they're just unbelievably good.
Yeah, we'll bring it in.
It's time.
We'll make it a whole show.
Yeah. All right.
So let's roll into the subject of the night. So I'm going to give you guys a little background. We have an actor. His name is Christopher Michael Pratt, born June 21st, 1979 in Virginia, Minnesota, as opposed to the state, Virginia, which leads to Pratt being a very confusing guy. His mother was a supermarket cashier and his father worked in mining. During his upbringing, they moved to Washington when he was 7, and he grew up as a small town kid. Right. He was a wrestler, like a state tournament champion wrestler, very athletic kid.
Yeah. Very competitive.
Yep. In the middle of all this, as he gets older, he drops out of community college, buys a one-way ticket to Maui, Hawaii. And this is relevant. So I think background of a person and what they go through and how they get to where they are is important. So while he's in Maui, he's a waiter at the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company. Rae Dawn Chong, actress, she was in Commando with Schwarzenegger, Tommy Chong's daughter, sees him, loves the fact that, her words, the chaotic energy of Chris Pratt. And she's casting for this horror comedy called Cursed 3 in 2000. Nobody's ever seen it. Don't feel bad that you don't know what it is. Casts him in the movie. He gets on a plane. He flies from Maui to Los Angeles. Is in this movie. Rae Dawn Chong is the director and decides that he's going to stay in Maui or stay in LA. So waiter has no idea what he wants to do. So I got a short clip that I'll play in a minute. That's the evolution of Chris Pratt. But coming into LA, the guy's literally been in LA now for 26 years, and we're going to go into this arc of his career. But I thought it'd be interesting to tell everybody where he came from, where he got started. But
yeah,
son of a miner, waiter.
But when
Yeah.
he moved out to Maui, he was essentially homeless.
Oh, yeah. Lived in, like, in a van and on the beach. Yeah, had
But
nothing.
but I like his mentality was I his and this is his quote, it's a pretty awesome place to be homeless." I'm like,
Yeah,
that sounds
I
like
would
Chris
guess.
Pratt back then too, right, you know, in Maui. So yeah,
Yeah, so
that's an awesome story.
everybody go to the video. Like, I can't stress this anymore. I'm gonna show you a quick video. I think it's, like, 40 seconds. It's the evolution of Chris Pratt, of what this guy looked like when he came to LA to where he is now married to Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter, lineage to the Kennedy, he's in the Kennedy lineage now because of Maria Shriver. So he marries the daughter of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Maria Shriver. So he goes from living in his van on the beach, working at the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company to basically, 18th in line to the Kennedy fortune. So it's a little crazy. So let me play this video. Moneyball. All right, look at that where he started. Hold on, let me see if I can pause it. Is it not coming up?
Yeah.
Look at that dude. Can you see that?
Yes.
Man, you would kill to have hair like that.
I
21
don't
years old
I
in
don't think I'd go that
LA,
far.
right off the beach. I think that might be a missed casting call right there, you with hair like that.
At 21, I would go head to head with Chris Pratt, without a doubt.
He went from that to that.
Yeah.
It's a good looking dude right
But
there.
he had kind of a like a bizarre collection of jobs before. I mean, yes, the he waited tables, but he was a ticket salesman, lawn maintenance guy, car washer guy, and amateur stripper guy. So he's dude, I root
I
for
can
this
see that.
guy. I like, you know, the Star Lord, the dance off, bro, right? Like that's where do you think he got those moves from?
Right, and
It wasn't
apparently
on
that was,
set.
improv. Like, they were like, "Go do something to distract him," and
Dude,
he's like,
that
"Dance off, bro."
I remember in the movies, I think I was with my daughter, dude, she just would bust out laughing because it was like one of the funniest scenes. But it came off so like natural and organic that it was I'm glad they didn't script that in because, you know, when you improvise, sometimes it's just, you know, it's a better take.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. So yeah,
So he
he's
gets started, he does his Radon Chong, he goes into
mhm,
Everwood, gets cast into the WB drama, then he gets into the OC, which back in the day, the OC was everywhere.
yeah.
Then he jumps into Andy Dwyer, Parks and Recreation, which I gotta say with him and, Plaza, absolutely hilarious, right? Those that might be one of the funniest duos, like top 10 funniest duos, the 2 of them together. And then, meets Anna Faris, gets married, has a kid while he's got his success, right, doing the whole rise. And what's funny is Andy Dwyer on Parks and Recreation was supposed to be 6 episodes. That's it. He was supposed to just come in as like a love interest and like a sidekick kinda deal.
Yeah.
The the audience goes nuts, so they bring him in. 2019, marries Catherine Schwarzenegger and, cemented his place in American culture. Pretty much what happened to this guy.
Yeah, I think he's got one of the best stories, and if you look at, I think all his films combined, I looked at his last 10, um, but he might quietly have one of the strongest commercial track records in the past decade. He really has. I yes, he's tied to franchise, type films. I mean, actually, mostly all of them in the last 10 years, like Garfield, Guardians of the Galaxy, Super Mario, Jurassic World, Thor, Avengers, like the only 2 movies that are not franchise related in the last couple of years was The Tomorrow War, Onward, you had Mercy on here
Yeah,
somewhere, but
Mercy.
yeah.
Yeah, Mercy, and oh, this friggin' thing from Netflix. It's so forgettable. I can't even. It just The Electric State.
Mhm.
Abysmal. Electric State is just absolutely abysmal. So this goes back to the question, right? You take a guy out of the ensemble cast. I can't imagine how many just absolute careers. Like Zoe Saldana, we talked about this. She's the highest rating actress right now because of Avatar and Marvel. So like these guys have made Brie Larson was average before they put her in as Captain Marvel, and now she's a part of this whole ensemble multi-billion-dollar
Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah.
So
It's hard
Chris
to
Pratt,
you're right.
go no,
Yeah,
go.
I was gonna say, yeah, just continue. I mean, I'm with you on that too.
But you take like he did a good job in Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm not gonna lie. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, I don't think was expected, but again, you got a great cast going into that, right? Like,
Yes. But he was Star-Lord, man. Like, who else can play Star-Lord like he played Star-Lord? It's like, who else can play Tony Stark, right? Other than, what's his name? Jeez,
Robert
can't
Downey.
remember. Yeah, Robert Downey. He's just
But
built for
you
that
got
role.
but look at this cast, right? Like
I know. Yeah.
Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, Vin Diesel, Bradley Cooper is Rocket. Like Rocket,
Yes,
the whole Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is all about Rocket.
it is.
You got Rocket, you got Karen Gillan, who
Uh,
I
uh,
love Karen Gillan.
all-star
Gillan.
it's an all-star team.
Yeah. Glenn Close, John Riley, they drop in there, Benicio del Toro, like,
Yes. Yes, 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 yes.
right?
Yes. But, alright, so if we were gonna debate Chris Pratt, the argument for Pratt, multi-billion dollar franchises, strong
Yep,
audience likability. He's a reliable family plus, like, action kind of appeal,
yep.
but he has some rare crossover success, like, outside of Marvel, right? I mean, Jurassic World, call it what you want. I mean, it was successful. Mario, and then the Lego movies, successful.
Hold on.
So
Hold on. Let me know if you can hear this. Can you hear it? I knew you were gonna talk about Jurassic World, so hold on. Ready?
yes.
Who's the alpha?
You're looking at him, kid.
Love that.
Yes, yes. So those are the arguments for Pratt, right? I mean, that's a strong, like, argument. The argument against Pratt, like most of, like in the last 10 years and 10 films, all of the success has been IP driven, period, right? The Tomorrow War was really, that avoided like the whole theatrical risk because I think that was streamed actually. So that wasn't really a good release kind of point of reference. And then he's had very few like original live action hits outside of the franchise. The only other one, I mean, the only thing I could think of was the Tomorrow War. I don't know if you saw that. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was okay. It was kinda like Tenet, like, to me, with Christopher Nolan's Tenet. Like, it
Yeah.
bounced back and forth so much. Like, the average viewer today is probably doing 3 other things while they're watching the show.
Yeah.
So, I looked at it, it was one of those things where I think it had a lot of potential, but it bounced back and forth so much, it was a little scattered. And that
Mhm.
may go back to not Chris Pratt's problem, but maybe the editing, but I don't know. I thought it was just overly complex of something that could have been just a really good,
Yeah.
action flick, right? I think
Yes.
they tried to get a little too fancy with it.
It reminded me of the Tom Cruise flick almost entirely. Like there was aliens involved, and the aliens actually even looked the same.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Tom Cruise movie with oh my god,
Uh,
I'm drawing a blank.
Oblivion.
No,
It's Oblivion, right?
it was like End of Day or something.
Oh, Edge of Tomorrow you're
Edge
talking
of
about.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Oblivion where he's, like, cloned
No,
and Morgan Freeman.
no,
Rebecca Ferguson, my new girlfriend.
Yes, I'm talking about, you're right, Edge of Tomorrow, where, he dies like, 100 times trying to get past, um, killing the aliens, and eventually they get there, but this almost was the same movie, but I
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. So his only other original film struggle that I can remember in the last 15 years or so was Passengers. Like, financially, it was decent, but it wasn't, yeah, you weren't a fan. I didn't like the movie either, but just from a ROI standpoint, it was okay.
Yeah, and I think the thing he has going for him is he's a super charismatic guy, right? Like
Yes.
he's funny, he's charming, he's likable, he's good looking. Like he can laugh at himself, which he's proven in all the other shows that he's in. He doesn't have this crazy arrogance, but here's where the big butt comes in, and I like big butts. The
Can't lie.
I
You
can't
can't lie.
lie.
You can't lie.
The He now demands, and I'm gonna give him I was there. He's like the bizarro Brendan Fraser, right? And this is kind of why I'm struggling and why I think he's a good fit for the show. He demands a $20 million salary now just to go in. Like he's the $20 million man. So when he went into these latest movies like Mercy and The
Mhm.
Electric State, Mercy had a total budget of 60 million.
Okay.
Now when he walks in and he's like, I need 20, he's a third of the budget. So you get these like medium tier action flicks that are outside of Marvel, Thor, Jurassic World, the whole deal.
Mhm.
And you got your star walking in saying, guys, you got to give me 20 or I'm not even going to be in your movie.
He's not just a star though, John. He's a star lord.
Yeah. Star Lord friggin' bombed Mercy and the Electric State.
Yeah, but
Right.
that's up, but don't you think it's at that point, you're the studio, and then you have your casting director, "Go find me an actor that fits this character." Okay, he's on that list. So let's just make this up. He's on a list of, say, 3 or 5 potential targets, right? Because we can always go to plan A, B, C, or D, and he wants 20 million. You find a comparable actor for 10. That's on the studio. That's not on Star-Lord. Star-Lord's
I
like, "Look."
I I agree with you
Yeah.
100%. Like somebody in the studio needs to have the confidence and the nerve to look at Chris and be like, dude, go pound sand. Like, you want
Yeah,
your 20
right,
million, go hang out with the Kennedys at the compound. Like, I'm not giving it to you.
right. And if I'm Chris Pratt, look,
Or knucklehead in the studio is paying him.
yeah, but if I'm Chris Pratt and you just talked about my entire origin story, and I was homeless in Maui, I'm married to a Kennedy, dude, 20 million is, that's a discount for me. That's how I look at it if I'm Chris Pratt. And here's
But
the
this
thing too.
goes Go ahead.
He's
Go ahead, I'm
he's
sorry.
expensive, he's expensive, but all the franchise movies that he's a part of have very, very expensive budgets. All right, just for example, Jurassic World Dominion. It literally made $1 billion.
Yeah,
That's
Billy.
you're like, "Holy shit, that's making a ton of money," but it costs nearly $500 million to make. So it's like, okay, like 20 million, drop in the bucket in that budget, wouldn't you think? But I get your point with Mercy. Like, if I'm the casting director and I have control of the purse strings, I'd be like, "You know what? I'm going with option B or C because I don't wanna spend 20 million on that character." But they chose to spend it, so I can't fault Chris Pratt for staying firm on the 20 million. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, "Dude, I think you've earned it."
Yeah, but I think with if you've listened to the show, I think
Yes.
part of what we tried, not you, but our listeners,
Yes.
I know you listen. I think
Try,
part of
I
what
try.
we try to prove on this is these high-priced actors that are out there, they're just not necessary anymore,
I
right?
would
Like,
agree with, yes, I would wholeheartedly agree with that.
and that is, my friend, is why you have an $8 hot dog, right? Because
Yes.
these
Yeah.
frigging guys go in and they're like, "You want me to be in your movie? Fine, 20 million." And you know what? I could take Obsession with
Mhm.
$1 million budget that's already hit 100, I think 110, 112 million. Chris Pratt's not getting that kind of return.
No.
There's just no
No.
way.
Yes. I would agree with that.
112. Obsession cost 1 million. It's already at 112 million. There's no Chris
That is,
Pratt in that. It's just a really good story that gets people's attention and makes money.
Yes.
So,
I
so let
think
me
that
give you my
for
Brendan Fraser. You know what Brendan Fraser's starting salary is right now? Now he's
today,
on his comeback, right? But he did a great job with The Whale, and he's doing his whole thing. He's getting his ass back
10,000,000.
in shape. 5 million.
Okay.
Now he's not Star-Lord. He's not an action hero anymore, even though he's trying to get in shape to go back and do a revival of The Mummy. But I couldn't put Brendan Fraser in today to be Star-Lord.
No.
But
No.
I could put Nicholas Galitzin maybe for like 50 grand and throw him in there and see what he can do. Because folks, if you haven't got this yet, Masters of the Universe comes out next week and it is going to be friggin' awful. So save your money, take the kids to go see something else. Don't spend your $100 to take the family. It's going to be a bomb. It's going to be terrible. But you know what I mean? Like there's actors
Yeah.
out there that are coming in from Maui on a one-way ticket that want to be the next Chris Pratt that are still hungry, and let these guys go, like Jared Leto with his investments, Jennifer Lawrence with her thing, and Kristen Stewart with her lawsuit. Like they just don't need the money anymore. And he's at the point where he's like, screw it. I don't need the money. You want me in your movie? Pay me 20 million. Otherwise I'm going to go hang out with the family. I can't fault him for it. It's just bad for movies. That's all.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, but I'm kind of looking at it, and we're playing kind of both sides, but from Chris Pratt's point of view, like, dude, I don't have to work. I don't have to do any movie for the rest of my life, but if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it for my price point, and it's 20 million. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like it, but
Yeah, I
again,
know. I know.
I know you get to the point where you respect it and you're like, okay, here's my bill. If you want me, pay me. If you
Hey,
don't,
hey,
I'm good over here.
real, real quick, not to sidetrack, but I'm gonna sidetrack here. You know how we were covering performances by films, that we were catching up earlier?
Yeah.
Scream 7, did that actually made a lot of money, and I think I said it was gonna make money. I pegged it at like 120, 130,000,000. I think you pegged it slightly less. That made a lot of money according to
Mhm.
yeah, dude, see, this is where remember you were hating on Nev Campbell, like, "Dude, she is not worth 15, 20,000,000, whatever." But that's another example where she ROI'd on that movie.
She did ROI 213. They got their money back.
Thank you.
So I
Thank
think it
you.
was around 60 million, double 2.5 times, 112, called 150. So it made 100 million. $100 million is it's nothing to sneeze at.
Nothing to sneeze at. It's more
Yeah.
than I think you and I have, I think.
More than I'll see in my lifetime. They made it
Yes.
in, they
Yes.
pulled Nev Campbell. Hold on, let me see if I got it.
Always good food, always good value.
Right? They pulled her right out of McDonald's commercial and they just made 100 million bucks on her. So
Yes.
good for her.
Alright, so that, I mean, do we wanna on the Mendoza line, where do we put Chris Pratt? Are we at that point
Yeah,
of the
I think we're
segment?
good. I think people are willing to pay, right? I think he works well with his cast. I think he's got a lot of things going for him. I think his acting ability is a little on the low end, but
He's
all right, what do you
one-dimensional from an acting perspective.
100%.
But
Just
if
because you
you
are not gonna like where I put him. So go let's let you go first
really
before yeah.
well, I we have certain criteria,
Yeah.
right? But I feel like he's one of those outliers only because his ROI on the franchise level is pretty elite. Like,
Yeah.
all the franchise his solo lead ROI is probably moderate. His consistency, I would say, way better than average. I would even say it's high. His commercial reliability, dude, this guy is extremely strong in terms of commercial reliability, and we're talking about ROI here.
Yeah.
Not a
Yeah.
I mean, if we factor all that in, acting chops and
He
all
has
that
a
stuff,
very high ROI. Yes.
yes, I think I would put him, um he's gotta be at least at the midway point. He's probably a 6, 7 in my head.
Okay. So
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
I'm gonna tell you where I would put him, just not outside of the data. I will tell
Oh,
you where I would put him. But then I
okay.
agree with you. The data is gonna tell a different story. And as you all know, we are very data driven. To me, he's like a 0 Ben Affleck, right? Like he's very
Okay.
one dimensional.
Yeah.
You can't put him in a lot of different things. You know, he's not going to go in Meryl Streep, make you cry. You know what I mean? Like he couldn't play action hero, dramatic role. He's very one dimensional. Exactly what you said. So Ben Affleck, very one dimensional. You put him into a autism hitman, he'll friggin' crush it, right? But you put
Yes.
him into anything else, he's going to really struggle. So I think from an acting capability alone, he's a 0. But then you take ROI, willingness to pay, all the other factors that we calculate when we go into a Mendoza line. I would agree with you. I was thinking 5. I was like,
Yeah.
he's like
Okay.
right midway mark.
Yeah.
So when you say like 6 or 7, I agree. I think he's got so many factors going for him outside of his one-dimensional acting capability that, you know, people
Yeah.
people cast
And
him,
here
right?
and here's the thing, John, too, right? Like, I'm sure Chris Pratt, I mean, he's still I don't know if you would say he's still at the peak of his career, but he's very, very marketable. I'm sure people are shopping scripts around and saying, "Hey, Chris, would you be interested?" I'm pretty sure he's turned down a ton of films. Only probably in his head is like, I'm not gonna be in that film. They could pay me 20,000,000, but it's gonna be bomb. It's gonna hurt my, it's gonna hurt my my product." I think. Like, if I'm Chris Pratt, you're probably seeing a dozen or so scripts on a regular basis, a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
which he's turning
100%.
down, right? Like,
And I
I don't
think
want any.
sometimes he just takes himself out of it, right? Like, you
Yeah,
couldn't
like,
go into a movie who's trying to get made and say, "Man, this guy's gonna demand 20,000,000 before I even start." Like,
yes,
you can't
and
even
that's
present it to him.
right, and that's fine, but I don't if I'm Chris Pratt, I'm like, "I don't wanna do that film, it's gonna hurt my brand, and it's a risk. I don't need to take a risk." That's all I'm saying, like, he's in, like, a perfect position in terms of, an actor in Hollywood, like, from a personal level, right, he's got that safety net, he's got that prestige, and then from an acting perspective, I'd be like, "Dude, just look at my last 10 films." Alright, I had a couple of, slight bumps along the way, but I'm a franchise guy, and just pay me franchise money.
Yeah, he's got the Ryan Reynolds model going, right? Like, he's a franchise in itself, and if you
Yeah,
wanna pay him, pay him. If you don't, that's fine. I got plenty. I'm doing fine. But he reminds me a lot in that instance of Ryan Reynolds,
yeah,
where,
yeah.
um,
It's all about the brand.
he's very much yeah, the brand and the franchise.
Yeah.
Yep, agreed. Alright, so what do you think? 5,
I
6?
think I think I think
I
at
guess
least a 5. I think at
yeah,
least a 5, but I would not, based on our Mendoza line, a 6 is reasonable as hell because of his ROI capabilities, and yes, he cherry picks his movies, but he's been sought after in these very, very pricey, big budgeted franchise films. That tells you a lot. I mean, yes, you could probably say, "Hey, we can stick anybody in there." Can you though? I don't know. Like, I can't see another Star-Lord other than Chris Pratt that has that
yeah,
much stick Ryan Reynolds in there. Is he as good? No, because he's a douchebag, right? Chris Pratt isn't. And we know that, like, at the personal level, he's not a douchebag.
yeah.
That's why I think Ryan Reynolds, I think he gets old for a lot of people. Probably I can't see Chris Pratt as Deadpool, right? Conversely. So I think those guys are just they were just well casted and their personality just blends so seamlessly with the character that, you know.
Yeah, they've locked it in.
Yeah.
They are that person now.
Yeah.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah. I think I would go 6, honestly, because of his ROI. But 5, I would live with that too.
Okay. Alright, we'll figure out what we're gonna do. Alright, so we've gone through our predictions or our reviews. We've gone through Chris Pratt, how we kinda view him, where he fits, what he's got going on, and now we're kinda rolling into you wanna do Sleeper or you wanna do the
I'll go sleep.
miscast?
No,
You
we'll
got
go
Sleeper
sleep.
first?
Let's go sleeper. Um, so my sleeper hit, and I have to credit the wifey, Cam, because I was like, "Dude, I can't think of a sleeper hit that's coming up." She was like, "Dude, I got you." So the sleeper hit for me, and it's coming out June 19th. It's called The Death of Robin Hood.
I saw a poster maybe for that? Let me see if I can find
Yeah.
it real quick so I can show a trailer.
So, and this is there's limited info on this. There is a trailer out. I don't know if you can spin that up real quick, but if you're trying to do that, I'll talk about the movie slightly. $10 to $20 million budget. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, I thought that was really low because in the movie, this is why I find it hard to believe. It's directed by Michael Sarnowski, and the cast
Okay.
includes Hugh Jackman as Robin Hood, Bill Skarsgård as Little
Hmm.
John, and I'm not too familiar with Jodie Comer, but she's like the main interest in the movie. But they're claiming that the budget is 10 to 20 million.
And
Comes
when's
out
it?
June 19th.
Okay. I love Robin Hood movies, so I'll definitely go see that.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's my sleeper pick. But if they're accurate about this 10 to 20 million dollar budget, I think this thing absolutely makes money.
I think at the end of this year, we should go back and take all these trailers and see if we can make like we'll have our own trailer award. And we'll just like shoot a guy an email and say, "Hey, from Movie Killer Podcast, you win our trailer award." So
Yeah, I
come up with a
like
little
that.
plaque, something we
Yes.
posted on the site,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes,
All right.
yes,
I was
yes.
able to grab it while we were talking. You ready?
Perfect.
Would you like to know a secret?
Because this trailer looks awesome.
Speak of Robin Hood.
A24.
I know,
Can
dude.
I invest in A24?
Yeah.
They're all lies.
That's the first thing I
He's
said
not a
too.
hero. You were a murderous brigand. We were monsters. I am the outlaw. Robin
A
Hood.
little dark.
Groweth sad and bloweth mad and springeth the word anew.
I owe you an apology. You begged for me to let you die. What's your name?
Can you make for me?
Want me to make you a bow? All right. What happened to her?
Terrible things. I help those who come to this island. And people change their course.
I've killed so many I could not give you a count. It's a curse. There are bad people out there. I fear our blood debts will follow her. I'll keep you safe. I'll keep you safe.
Pretty good.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Can I
one
tell you
thing-
my only Can I tell you my only
Yeah.
criticism?
Yeah.
It's been done a lot, right? So I'm watching that. I'm like, this is like a Western where the old gunslinger comes in. This is the knight, the mercenary, the special forces guy. Like you could take this story where the outlaw gets like rescued. He's in a house. He's got to protect the wife and daughter. Then he teaches the kid. I guarantee you at the end, the girl shoots the bad guy with the bow at the end. You know what I mean? Like the story
like-
has been done a lot.
It's like a Statham movie.
Yeah. Yeah. But I love the Robin Hood theme and I love Hugh Jackman. So I'm definitely going to go see it.
I'm definitely going to go see that. And then this director, young guy too, Michael Sarnowski, he did A Quiet Place Day One. That was a pretty good movie, dude.
Yeah.
Like
a
I
lot
know
of
the whole
action.
quiet, but the whole the cinematography, the just the storyline was. I was like, man, this is actually better than the other Quiet Place. So I think this one will do well. Especially from a budget perspective. If they're being honest about the 10 to 20 million, like, wow,
Yeah.
that could actually make a ton of money for them. Yeah,
Let's
so
look
that's
that
my
up.
sleeper pick.
Hugh Jackman's salary, Death of Robin Hood. All right, Gemini, don't give me a bunch of shit. Just give me the number. I can't find it. See if you can find that.
Okay.
So I'm going to go into my sleeper pick. See if you can find Hugh Jackman's salary for, because I'd like to know if it's a 20, like you put Chris Pratt in that, it's 20 million. Like it's a non-starter before it
Well,
even starts.
here's the thing too. He
F
might be
you,
one of
Chris
those.
Pratt.
Yeah,
Bad, but
he might be one of those. I mean, Hugh might just say, "Hey, I just want the back end money. Pay me
Yeah.
$2 million, and I'll take proceeds on the back end."
Well, that's the other thing that's interesting. Like Hugh Jackman will do like those prestige kind of smaller movies.
Yeah.
You don't see Chris Pratt or I'll say Ryan Reynolds, who is another franchise actor, going into these low budget prestige independent films, right? Like they just don't do
Correct.
it.
Yeah.
You don't see a what's that crap Kristen Stewart movie that she won the award for, Diana or whatever, the
Yes.
Princess
Yes.
Di movie.
Yes. Leave me. I wish to masturbate.
Yes, that one.
Yes.
You don't see Chris Pratt in a movie like that, right? Like he's not going to win
So
an Academy Award.
And so, as I was saying, like he's probably going to take back end money. So here's a factoid. So his salary hasn't been publicly disclosed, which is a standard for independently produced A24 films. This is what I like about A24, because A24 movies typically feature moderate to low. It is likely he is receiving a reduced baseline salary combined with back end profit participation. So that model is, I think, a tremendous model for any studio that wants to get an A-lister. Like, hey, come in, I'll give you, the cut of the action on the back end. I think that's how they get the big draw with these A-listers, because, if he wasn't getting that, he ain't doing this movie, right? Like Hugh Jackman's like,
yeah,
dude, I'm an A-lister. Like I want the back end money at this point.
All right, so I'm gonna give you my sleeper pick.
Okay.
My sleeper book. I'm gonna play the trailer and then I'll tell you the synopsis. I'm pretty high on this. Like I watched this, I was like, holy crap, that's really good. So here we go.
I found something in the store.
That's interesting.
Okay.
You know what it is?
What did you find?
Oh man, it's always a horror flick with you.
Yeah.
Place.
You
Low
are a
budget,
horror.
big money.
I found a place.
Hello? Anyone there?
Look, I know how this sounds, but you gotta understand, it's massive in there.
I'm not saying I don't believe you.
Okay, I'm gonna come back here with proof.
All right, you feel me?
Yes. Follow my lead.
Clark, what is this?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I've been here every night since I found the place, and I still barely scratched the surface. All right, just take it slow. Pull me up, pull me up, pull me up! What do you see?
All these rooms, this place builds them.
It's like a maze. It just goes on and on. Sometimes I'm scared I'll get lost.
Clark, can you hear me?
I don't understand. What is this?
It's beautiful. Am I right?
Hello?
Oh,
So
it comes out like today.
comes out, yeah, this weekend it opened.
Oh,
So
yesterday.
apparently there's like a whole web series. It's like a YouTube web series that this guy did, Kane
hmm
Parsons. And he's been doing this, like the reality of there's these back rooms that are all over the world
Yes.
where people go and investigate and do like these found footage kind of deals, and they post all this stuff. So
Uh-huh.
he started compiling all this and making like his own web series. He
Yes.
got approached by a bunch of different studios saying, "Hey, let's
Oh,
take their
that's
web
smart.
series and let's make it a movie." And he jumped in, pretty good casting, and
Yeah.
made this series. But this has a web following now for a couple years that's growing. And I'll tell you a funny story, which is how my daughter discovered this. So in the web series, there's a mall in Australia that
Okay.
has one of these hidden back rooms.
I've
So
heard something similar. Go ahead.
so it's
Yeah.
marked like exit, but when you go into it, you're trapped in the rooms and you can't get out.
So people have
So
died.
so listen, so my
Yeah.
daughter's in the mall in Australia with her friend.
Oh God.
They're trying to get out. They find a door that says exit. They go in the exit. They get trapped like in this like maze of shit. And luckily somebody came and either opened the door or they were able to call someone to come get the door and open the door. But
Holy
you couldn't
hell.
open the door from the other side, and it's like these maze of rooms, and then, like, this mall is depicted in this back room site of, like, if you see this door with this exit, don't go in it because you can't get out. So then she started following all this, and she told me about it, and then they made it into a movie, and it's like it's a whole thing.
Oh, so she has. I mean, there. This has like a special meaning. Like
Yeah, like a
she's
personal
encountered this.
touch
Yeah.
to it. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
So very similar. There was a not too long ago. There was a man that was I think with his daughter or granddaughter at the mall. I want to say it was in the US, but anyway, he had Alzheimer's. So she was like, "Hey, just I'll be right back." And he sat down on like a bench at the mall, got up and walked through an exit door, got lost. I mean, he had Alzheimer's too, so it
Right.
must have been extremely like frustrating for him. Couldn't get out. He was just going through this labyrinth of exit door and exit door. They found him weeks later. He perished, but like, how do you not see or come across a guy that's been in a mall? Like how do you not even, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
2 days goes by. I'm checking every square inch of the mall. And then they said like literally 3 or 4 weeks they found him in like a corridor between 2 exit doors and he just was slumped over. I was like, "My God, that must have been like." Can you imagine? Like, you're already forgetful, you have Alzheimer's, and then you can't figure your way out. It's like a bad dream
Yeah, lose your mind, right? Like, it's just crazy.
or your
So
life. I mean,
yeah, or your
sure.
life, which is where
Yeah.
my daughter was, like, all freaked out, but
Oh, I would have.
basically
Yeah.
yeah, she wasn't happy. But basically, the movie opens this weekend.
Yeah.
The film follows Clark, who I'm not gonna even try to pronounce the guy's name, but he was in Martian, he's in a ton of movies, I love him as an actor.
Yes.
Um, technically, he would be a pirate. Yes, yes, he explained it to us, right? Like, I
Yes.
love the whole thing in The Martian. But the film
Yes.
follows Clark, owner of a pirate-themed furniture store who discovers a mysterious doorway in a store's basement that leads to the back rooms, an alternate dimension of endless yellow fluorescent lit rooms with carpets and repeating wallpaper where the laws of reality fail. Clark becomes obsessed with exploring the space nightly and documents his experience with the help of friends. So very simple, right? Simple concept, simple scenery, simple
Yeah.
everything, low budget.
What is
Boom.
the budget?
I don't know. This
It
might go
gotta
back.
it's gotta be under 5,000,000,
Let's see.
including
Back then,
salaries.
2026 budget. 10 million is estimated right now, but they're estimating 10 million. But I can't
Okay.
get a definitive like
Yeah.
it's this.
Mm.
Let's say under 10. There's no way this thing is going crazy, but it did have a couple stars in it, so might
Yeah,
be
I
something
would
to
say
check out.
50% or more is probably salary driven, but
Yeah.
no, I
But
think
it
it's
looks
a
great.
yeah, I think it's an interesting, movie concept because it's real life. This kind of thing is out there. The fact that this one old, I gotta find that article. I was like, "Oh my god, how did they find this guy after a
Yeah,
couple days?"
and it's already got a huge YouTube, like cult
Presence,
following
yeah.
behind it. Yeah, presence.
Yeah. Yeah, so it should probably come in at, I would say, anywhere between 80 to 100 mil, like
Yeah.
almost, right?
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
A24. I'm gonna look and see if I can invest in A24.
Yeah, so you know what? I'm thinking like on the website, how we're doing these sleeper hits. I
Mhm.
think we should track them because I think it's going to be interesting because, like, in 6 months we could say, yo, if nobody heard about these movies unless they listen to this podcast, we're doing
Yeah.
justice to these studios.
Yeah, I agree.
A24 though, how about that? That's pretty
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
And I'll add that section in this weekend while I'm sitting here. So we'll get that up and we'll put Tony, Obsession, Backrooms, and Death of Robin Hood. Put that on there.
Yeah. All right, so we're at the final segment of our show. I'm thinking we just release just one per week because
Okay.
I don't have an infinite amount. I have a lot, but I think one per week just to keep people kind of tuned in and interested because
Fair.
last week you released, I think, 3.
Well, I was shocked by it. I was like, it was like a kid at Christmas. I wanted to open up the Millennium Falcon, right? Like I was like, I
Yes.
got to get these things out there. It was an
Yes.
exciting
Yes.
day for me.
Yes, and I don't mind you replaying anything you've aired before because I think, one person commented when he saw the Maximus one, he was just like, "Man, dude, I didn't know you were in the running." I was like, "There's a lot of things I have in the running, I just don't like to talk about it. I keep that, under wraps."
And what's
Until
funny
today.
is,
Until today.
oh, today this is a new segment. This is going to live forever.
Yeah.
So for anybody who follows us on TikTok, if you go out and watch the TikTok videos, we posted a video around Elliot Page and the whole Odyssey piece. I got to tell you, that thing is getting a lot of comments. It's very polarizing from a video perspective. But there's one part of the video that even Maximus missed, where I talk about spreading misinformation across the internet. And during that segment, if you watch it, it's the illustrious co-host Mark as Maximus Decidius Aurelius or whatever his name is.
Yes.
You know
how
general of the Northern Legion.
Uh-huh. You know how good it was when you posted that TikTok video? I watched it to completion. And because that clip of my screen test was so good, my brain was just like, wow, that was the real thing. Like I didn't
Yeah.
even flinch. It was that good. So
Yeah,
see,
I
this
blended
is
it
what these
right in.
people, yeah, but well, the fact that you blended it in and the
Yeah.
fact that I don't think anyone would blink an eye to say that, hey, wait a minute, is that Russell Crowe or is that right?
See, you look at it as, hey, I could be Russell Crowe, and I look at it as there's so much misinformation on the internet that people don't even pay attention anymore, right? Like they're just like, oh yeah, it's on the internet. I'm good. That's Mark
Yes.
as Gladiator. It must be real, right? They
Must
just
be
don't
real.
even flinch at it anymore.
Or my performance was that impeccable that they couldn't even tell. They're like, you know
Yep.
what? It must have been his twin. I don't know. It just looked real.
You
I'm on board.
definitely like William Wallace. You definitely look, instead of the Scottish Highlands, you look like the Spaniard. You look like
My
you should be
God,
from
that was
Spain.
another one. And then I gave him the voiceover too, right? I am William Wallace. William
Perfect.
Wallace is 7 foot tall and he shoots lightning bolts out of his ass. I
Yeah.
am William Wallace, mofos.
All right, so
Dude,
here's
don't-
the
don't-
moment everybody's been
just-
waiting for. Let's just
Dude, don't-
blast it out.
Okay,
I
which one
can't
are we
hold
doing?
back anymore.
Wait, which one are we doing? Because I sent
It's
you
a
two.
surprise. No, it's a
Okay.
surprise.
But one
So
per
here's
week.
what everybody's been waiting for. This is
do
the
it.
screen test where Mark was able to read for a show and they put him into the casting, but ultimately the studio decided to go in a different direction to their detriment, I must admit, after watching Mark's screen test. So
Yes, a different artistic direction.
And this is how
here
I
we
met.
go.
Dude.
But every Saturday night, we were finding something out.
Welcome to Fight Club.
Dude, I am jacked.
People think that I'm you.
I'm free and all
Oh my God, I look so good there.
Yeah. The first
Dude.
rule of Fight Club is you never
And this
ever
is how I
talk about it.
met.
Hold on, I gotta go back. Here we go.
Uh-huh.
Hold on. Here we go. Boom.
Dude, and
Look at that.
yeah, like this is a treat for anyone that's ever known me. If you ever wondered what I look like with a buzz cut, there you go, in the flesh.
Yeah, and that is that jacket is right out of Mark's
I was gonna
closet.
say, look at my wardrobe here. That is on point for this movie. I can't tell if we air this on TikTok, you think people will even notice? Probably not. It's
We'll
so
definitely put this on that. Look right there.
dude, I'm
Boom.
so ripped. 6 months. 6 months
Even
it took me to look like that.
the gladiator diet.
Dude, look at my abs. My six pack is just like, hello. Right? Like,
All right,
you know,
folks, I hope it was worth the wait.
wait, so John, my last comment is like, dude, Mark in this clip right here, we can't even touch him. We can't even put him in like Magic Mike because he's gonna steal all the eyeballs. So that's why I didn't get that role. I didn't even have the opportunity. Actually, I think I did. I'm gonna have to find that clip, but the Magic Mike audition tape.
Yeah, where you were trying out for that?
No, I wasn't trying, John.
It's like
I
Farley
was,
and Patrick
you know
Swayze
what?
on Saturday Night Live.
I would rephrase that. You said I was trying. I was just basically showcasing
Boom.
what the studio is missing long term to their detriment, like you said.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right. With that, folks, I hope we entertained you on a Saturday morning. You know, we didn't tell you how a bill was made. You know, Lolly had her adverbs
Yes.
back in the day, and duck season, wabbit season. Right?
Yes.
So,
But we gave
now
them
you
a
got us.
lot, and we gave them a lot more. We gave them a recap, current films. We gave our bold sleeper hits. I think we did Chris Pratt justice on the movie killer perspective, and then you got a treat at the end. Like, how much more can you ask for on a Saturday morning?
It is an action-packed, fun-filled show.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm going to give a plug. So plug, if you guys can see my hat. For those of you who want to send me hats, send me hats. We're going to give you a plug with our 700 or 800 followers that we have out there. So in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, there's a knife maker. For those of you guys who don't know, I collect like different knives. More Custom Knives. Super nice knife. MOHR. Check it out. Look it up. But Custom Knives wearing his hat. It's a pretty good hat.
Yeah.
But,
well, you almost forgot it early on, but
yeah, Mark was like, you didn't brush your hair. You might want to put on a hat. So I had to run.
Yeah, no screen test for you today. No. Not with that lid.
I would be the before Chris Pratt living in the van screen test. The way I'm looking today. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up. Let's see if we can find the music. Mark did a good job of recapping everything we were able to cover today. I think next week we'll be back to maybe not. We're going to be traveling Thursday. So we might have to find another day this coming week as well, but we'll be back at some point. Or maybe I bring the laptop and we do remote. We do it
on location.
On location shoot, maybe.
Yeah, I'm bringing my camera, so I mean, I'm game for that.
All right, I'll pack up some stuff and we'll see. So we're going to be doing a little bit of traveling this week. So to Mark's point, maybe we shoot from on location with a couple guests coming in, and we'll see where it goes, and we'll come up with a subject. And then next coming weeks, we got the Star Wars show, which I'm sure a lot of people will be waiting for. So, all right, you ready? You good?
Yep.
Can you hear?
Mm-hmm.
And that is The Glitch by something or other. Let's really learn the name of that song. I do dig it. But, for everybody out there, it's on 3, 2, 1. All right, folks, mkpcast.com, Movie Killers Podcast. Check it out. We're going to add this week's section to the movie list. We are on TikTok. Please like, share, and Elliot Page,
Glitch in the cortex.
And with Glitch in the Cortex, I've probably changed their line with Mark. So thanks everybody for joining us this morning, and we'll be posting this video on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Have a great day.
Have a good weekend, everyone.